Good morning everybody. Welcome back to TF Custom Shaving Brushes Workshop. My name's Tony. How are we all? Oh well, I hope I see Ryan's in there and Brett's in there and Amber's in there. Let me get the chat up. TMan, hello there. TMan, this is your day, mate. I'm just going to get this one out the way first. It has hardened up quite significantly, so I think it's just a matter of time before it's properly cured and set. So I'm going to give it another little touch up this morning, this one, before we start on TMan's, which I've got sitting here. And we're just going to work out TMan, the shape. Are you reverting back to a sort of chubby shape with this one now, or what? Let me know, mate, because it'll be mixed up. So we need to sort it before I get started. Okay. So I'm just going to nip this one up just slightly. Like I said, it's still a little bit soft, but it's getting there. And I don't need much pressure to just touch up the bottom of this one. Make sure we're on nice and slow. You can see it's still wobbly on the chuck there, and it still feels a little bit soft and gooey on the bottom, so I might end up putting this one aside for a bit longer yet. It's really strange because it was exactly the same pores as the other ones we done, but it did all come back into shape after it went out of shape the last time in the chuck. Now if I can just get these sanding marks at the bottom, I'd be happy. And I think we might just get there with this morning. We'll soon know once we hit it on the buffer anyway. So yeah, it's a very weird one, this one. Very weird. But anyway. Yeah, it's the weekend. And I just had a message come through from SES asking availability for the weekend, over the weekend and into the early week, because we're forecast for storms. So they're obviously expecting some storm damage. And I may be activated to go out in that. So I've told them anytime after 12 today, and then the rest of the weekend is fine. So we'll see what happens. Alright, I'm just going to hit this on the buffer and see how that bottom comes up. Everywhere else I'm happy with it, and as you can see, it's gone back perfectly round again, and it has hardened up quite significantly, but just not quite hard enough that it's still not going out of shape. So I think I might have to sit it in the sun or stick it in the oven under a bit of heat to get it to harden up. So anyway, we'll see what happens. There's no mad rush on it. I'm just going to give it a tiny touch up on the buffer now and see what happens. That'll do it, I think. We'll hit it with a little bit of polish. Where's that cutty? Get my polish, and I'll need a bit of epoxy. Glue board, which move that over there. So we all good this fine Saturday morning? Aye? And let me get the screen sorted out for you guys too, aye? So chubby shape it is, aye? No problemo. Okay, let me just get these screens set up. So we'll go on to camera 3 and we'll put picture in picture. Camera 2, that one. All right. And I'm just going to put some of this polish on here. And I may even end up just giving this one a polish by hand and not on the chuck. Because I think it's going to come off again if I don't. The knot's not deep in this one either, which is not helping matters, because I can't get the legs of the jaw into the hole properly either, which is another issue. And the only reason it's not set deeper is because that's what the knot needs. So And it's polishing up nicely. That's what I mean, it's really funny, really weird how the resin's reacting the way it's reacting, but anyway, we'll see what the outcome is. But it's polishing up nicely, like that. So I can set the knot, because the knot end's all good now. Even although there's still a little bit of movement in it, but I think just as time goes on, because it does take a long time to reach its full strength. So, that being that, we've got the epoxy there. We've got that. I'm just going to give the bottom of this knot a little touch up with a bit of rough sandpaper. So that's that done. And I need a coin, and I'm thinking I might put an antique brass in this one, I think. I don't think it would matter which one we put in this one, to be honest. Just for something different, we'll go antique brass. And I think that should look okay. Yeah, that'll look all right. If I can get it out now. Where's my magnet? That one doesn't want to take it out. That was good, eh? Where did I have those other magnets? Got a couple of big strong magnets kicking around somewhere, but I can't remember where I've put them. Just give me a second till I see if I can get my big magnet off here and see if that'll take it out. Yep, that got it. Ah. Now I've got to get it off the magnet. Oh dear. Problemo, problemo, problemo. Here we go. Right. Let's get this show on the road. One thing after another, the last couple of streams, isn't it? Right, we'll set that there. We'll mix up a little bit of epoxy. Set that up there. And we'll stick a little bit more here in, part by. Let me get the chat up. Right, so give that a little mix up. Okay, coins in my pocket. And we've got a fair bit of ooze out on this one. So we'll need the paper towel and the methylated spirits. Okay, we'll come back and check that again in a tick. So far so good. All right, and now we'll get the knot done. And I think I'm going to need a little bit more epoxy for this. So we'll get another little bit part A. That should do it. A little bit part B. That should do that. That can go down there out the way. That's the knot set. Just check for epoxy. And we should be all done. There we go. I think I must add a little bit of epoxy on my hands. So I'll get a clean cloth. Just give it the once over. That's better. Let's make sure that's seated properly. And there we have it. All done and dusted, but it will sit for a few days again now. And we'll just make sure that it does harden up properly. And providing that does that, she'll go up on the website for sale. So far so good, considering the issues we had initially. Okay, that's that one done, so I'm going to sit that one over there out the way. We'll tidy up here. And then we shall chuck up TMan's handle. And we shall get started. So, we'll need to change chucks. Okay. You've stayed awake 42 hours so you could be here today. Jesus, mate. You're keen. Change your doctor's appointment. A wild and wobbly stream, it sure was, I'd never come across that before. Anyway, it seems to be correcting itself, so we're all good there now. Alright, so you guys, we've got Razor in the house, we've got Ryan, we've got Brett, we've got Witchy Woman, we've got TMan. Who else have we got? Is that it? Okay, let's move on, eh? Let's move on. So, okay, we probably won't get this one finished today because the knot's going to be set in the resin end of the handle, and once the socket's done, I'll need to then clean the socket up very, very carefully and slowly inside to make sure that it's nice and clear, there's no lines, no nothing there. And then I will have to paint on some of the chameleon pigment around the socket so that you don't see the knot. So what we'll do is we'll get the handle turned, but like I said, I don't think we'll get the handle completely finished in this stream. So what we'll probably do is we'll take it through to the point where it's basically finished, and then probably offline I will need to then do what I've got to do on the inside of the socket, and then when we come back on Tuesday night stream, it should really then just be a case of setting the coin, if we put a coin in the bottom, and setting the knot, because then the chameleon pigment will have gone off in the socket, and we'll be okay then to stick the knot in. So the socket will be actually oversized as well to allow for the chameleon resin to be painted on the inside of the socket. And that's just going to be too much to do in the stream. So we'll probably, like I said, end up doing that offline, and then we'll come back in the stream on Tuesday night, and Tuesday will be the day or the night we'll finish it. And yeah, and then we can move on to something else on Tuesday again, if that sounds good. Okay, so we're going to open this chuck up and get this blank in here. Actually, I'm wondering if it would be better in my other jaws. Let me just check that, because it might actually go in the dovetail jaws. Let's try it. Let's see what fits best. Let's see if it'll tighten up in these ones. The jaws might be too big on this one, but I'd rather, if we can get it in this one, I'd rather put it in this one. But I think, yeah, it's going to be too big. Oh well. Oh well. Oh well. Not to worry. Not to worry. We'll just stick with what we know works. It's just that the further apart you open the jaws up, the less grip you've got on the blank, especially with these smaller jaws. As you can see there, so I'm just gonna that looks fairly good to me there, but I don't want to put pressure on there. So we're gonna set that there. Till we get this round. And there is another way you can do it. We can do this. Here's a little trick for you, Amber. So when you're trying to get something centralized in the chuck, you can bring up your tool rest, and then you can put the key in here and just let it turn against it. And then once it turns against it, with a tiny little bit of pressure, you then get it on center. Look at that. See that? Now it's on center. Now we've got a hold of it. Right, that's that held. That ain't going to go anywhere. So now we need to think about the shape. So we want a chubby type shape. We've got the knot going in, which is this one here. So that's one of the new ones that came up from Serjan. And I've just got it in a band just to, just to keep it in shape. Now I did, as per Serjan's request, I did give it a soak in water and then let it sit for a couple of days. And what that does is it lets these hairs or bristles or whatever you want to call them, it lets them take on the water and lets them expand out. So now, once I size the socket and the handle, I size it to this, and that'll allow for it to take on that water, even though it's dried out more, but it's still swollen. So in doing this, letting it get wet, absorbing water, and then taking the measurement, that'll let me get the proper size. Now this is a 30mm knot, and it's probably going to end up being about 31 to 32, and I'd say probably closer to 32 out of the handle. So it's a big knot. But anyway, we'll get stuck into it and we'll get this thing happening. So what I'm thinking is, we've got 17mm coming down into the handle. So I'm thinking that I can probably lose a little bit material off the top of this handle. And I'm thinking probably about there, that I can lose off the top of the clear. And that should still allow me to go in 17, but without hitting the burl inside, because I don't want to have to go into the burl inside. And I'm thinking then that that's still going to give us plenty to get the handle out of. So being a chubby, we're probably going to end up losing, say, maybe 15-20mm off the bottom of that blank. But I think that'll work out quite nicely. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to part it off here. So let me just bring this in a bit closer. So we're going to part that off there, or thereabouts. And then the handle's probably going to be I reckon if we make it about, let's go a little bit longer. Let's say around about there. I'm just trying to get the proportions right. And I reckon if we go say maybe about there for the bottom section, no, that's going to look too much. So we need to bring that back to maybe say about there. It's going to be a slightly longer chubby style than the chubby, because otherwise we're going to lose a lot of the blank. So anyway, let's just get started. So we'll part that off, just that top piece. Yeah, we'll part that off and then we'll start the shaping, and we'll tweak as we go, I think. Right, now, so we'll give it a little bit of speed. There should be. So that's that done. We've got a nice little clear disc off there. Okay. Now we can take this back. Now we can knock that out. Now I'm going to check my sizes for my Fosna bits, because I reckon if if I've got a 32, which we do have, that's going to be our size for this knot for sure, because it is much bigger than the plug on the bottom. So let me just check. Where is Surgeon? There he is. So we need to make so we want that about 56. Because I do have a fairly big, I should show you on camera here, should know what I'm doing here. So I'm measuring it around the knot. The glue plug here is actually only measuring, it's measuring probably just under 30 mil. But up here, where the bristles are really firm, it's more like 32. So 32 is going to be our size for this particular one. And we want to set it at about 56, right? So we're only going to be setting that in about 14 mil, okay, which is fine. So 14 mil will take it up to roughly where the bottom of that band is. Well, actually, but yeah, about there. And even 32 could be a little bit tight, to be honest, but anyway, we'll try the 32, and if we need to open it a little bit, we can open it a little bit. That's no problem. Okay. Okay, now, so what I'm going to do, I'm bring that in a bit closer. So we're almost touching, which is about there. Then I'm going to take that size, which is 15, and we want to go in 14, so that'll be 29 mil. And that'll be it there. Okay. And that's good because we've only just touched the top, very top point of that burl there. So that's excellent. I'm happy with that. Now, we'll sit that 32 mil there for now. We'll sit that there. I'm just going to hit that, inner edge with a bit of sandpaper just to take the sharp edge off it. And then we'll try the knot. That's good. Now we'll try the knot. Ah, lovely. Yeah, beautiful. Let me just take that off. There we go. And I'm just going to check that loft. And that's bang on 56, which is where Sir Jan recommended the knot be. So we've got that spot on. And that feels nice. Still got plenty bristle, but still going to splay nicely. Plenty backbone. And that's sitting there just nicely. So that's lovely. Okay, we've got that part out the way, which is a really important part in getting the knot to so that it's going to perform at its best. So there we go. So we've got that part out of the way now. So now we can start doing a little bit of shaping and working out how it's looking, and you know, if we need to change it a little bit, we'll need to change it a little bit. But we've now got our starting point. Okay. So I'm going to go in very gently and just start shaping that top edge. And what I might end up doing is I might end up going in maybe just another mil. If I think we need to once I'm finished the top edge here. Okay, we're nearly there, just a tiny little touch more, right on the inner edge there. And I think I will go just another mil in depth, because I will be well, I've just shaped the top and I'm going to be sanding the top, so it's going to take it down just a little bit. So I want to make sure we get it spot on. So we're going to bring that in to there. Lock her off. And that's us. Okay. Live centre back in. Bring it in. And we can give it a little bit of stability now. Okay, so I'm going to start that was just my phone. Just excuse me a minute. I'm going to be getting a few messages because I've got a few things for sale. Just give me 2 secs. Let's see what he comes back with there. We'll keep going. Drop that down a touch. And just check that. All good. All good. Right, let me see what we've got here. Okay, that's looking all right so far. Let me see how that's looking. Oh. It's not looking too bad. Get the airline in there and clear that. That'll do it. You need to get a couple of coffees into your tea, man. That'll spark you up, mate. Flood yourself with caffeine. Aye? Sorry about the compressor. It is pretty noisy. Just to go up just a little bit. Yeah, we're getting there, we're getting there. Alright, we need to go a little bit deeper yet. Right, let's see how we're looking there. We'll take a little bit off the Now we'll put a parting tool mark in there. we need to come back up again. We're going to take a little bit more there. And we're going to take a bit from there. Then I'm going to have a look at that and see where we're at. So that's not too bad. We probably want to just get a little bit more off there, although it's not bad there, to be honest. But we want to go a little bit deeper in here. Now that we've taken the ring parts here down a bit more, so let's just go in and take a little bit more in there. We're just going to refine the shape a little bit more now. Getting a little bit closer and probably down a touch. Where's the big one? This one. Yeah, that's looking all right. That's looking quite nice. If anything, maybe just a little tiny touch off in there, just to even those rings up a bit. Not much, but just a tiny bit. And that'll do it. How's that looking for you, TMan? I think that's looking quite nice. Let me just see if we can get this out of here. And we'll turn it off. We'll grab the knot and sit the knot in there. Ho ho ho! Grey Dog, good morning to you, mate. How are you? Or afternoon to you guys, and good morning here. Yeah, it's probably a little bit longer than what a chubby style should be, but like I said, if we shorten it up, you're going to lose a lot of your chameleon effect in there, and I don't want to do that, so I think we'll leave it at that. And all we're going to do now is just sand it up, round over all the sharp edges, and basically then we can sort of pat it off, thinking what we need to do. So yeah, we can drill it for the coin at the bottom, we can pat it off, we can drill the coin, we can sand it up, give it a polish up, a buff up, and then that'll be about all we can do in today's stream, because then I'll need to clean up this inside ring. Well, I can clean that up, but we just can't do the chameleon in there until it's just a bit of time. But anyway, we'll see how we go for time. We might be able to do a little bit, or see how we're going. We might be able to do a little bit, but I guess the main thing now is to, we got rain here now. The main thing is just to get it all cleaned up now, and make sure that we're all happy with everything before we sort of think about parting it off. So we'll get some sandpaper over here, and we'll go through the grits and just give it a nice sand up now. And it's probably too fast for sanding, so I'll just turn that down. You can hear the rain on the old tin roof. Well, this one's been a long time coming, this handle TMan, hasn't it? Waiting on the knot. The blank was done ages ago, but waiting on the knot's been taking a while. Old Surgeon came through eventually with his beautiful knot. But it's been a long time in the making, this one. Hopefully it's worth the wait, mate. Hopefully it's worth the wait for you. Now you'll also need to let me know whether you want a CA finish over the top. Now the timber is stabilised, so you know it'll probably polish up quite nicely on the buffing wheel without having to put a CA finish on it. But if you want it really glossy, glassy, shiny, then we'll put a CA finish on it. But if you're a bit of a tactile man and you want to feel the timber and the resin, then we'll leave it as it is. We'll just buff it and polish it. Some people do like to feel the natural timber in their hand. So when you put the CA finish on it, it's, you know, you lose that feel of the natural timber. Even although the timber's impregnated with the resin, but you still sort of lose that, it retains the feel of the wood. And it won't be the kind of brush that you'll rattle around in a bowl for lathering, because if you chip the CA, then it's, you know, you're going to end up with a chip in it. It's so it's more one that you'll lather out the pack and then lather on your face, as opposed to lathering in a bowl, unless you've got a big bowl where you're not going to, you know, rattle the handle around off the edges of the bowl. I put a couple of items up for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and I've had nothing but messages on messages on messages. So that's probably more messages coming through. Okay, we'll see how we go with that. Yeah, no, it was just he was busy, I think, Brett. He had a lot, well, I mean, I sent him down that 12, 13 handles. I think he was just busy, mate. And I was just waiting on him sending me them up because he, I had a few that I wanted him to send up to me. So it was just a case of when he got to them. Get my little pad here. You know, now that we've had a bit of rain, it's starting to steam up already. Can feel the humidity starting to climb. Here she comes again. Little spit of rain. They're saying we're in for a really wet season this year, which is good, I guess, but let's hope that we don't get the floods like we had a few years back, where basically Brisbane went under. El Nino, here we come. Right, next one. Oh, it's getting muggy. Let me see what the let's see what, where's the weather? Where's the weather? Weather. So it's 10:26. It's overcast, which it is outside. We're at 26 degrees. We're at 65% humidity according to this at the moment. Anyway. You guys all keeping yourselves amused in there? Yeah, it's rock solid this end. Rock solid this end, excellent connection it's telling me. No caching on the monitor, so all's good, the stream's all good. Alright, that'll do that grit. No worries, Amber, catch you later. That's the ticket, TMan. Get the caffeine into you, mate. Like I said, I'm only going to take the handle so far, and then I'll do a bit of work offline to get it ready for finishing it on Tuesday, if that's all right with everybody, because it's just going to be too much to try and get it all in the stream today. But we'll get the crux of it done today, I think. It'll just be all the slow, tedious stuff that needs to be done offline. But hopefully we'll get a look at the, once we get it shined up a bit, we'll get a look at the how the chameleon's coming through in it, the colour changing pigment. And then we'll try and get in here a little bit more. It's not too bad. Lovely, that's that one. Now the last sanding grit, dry sand grit anyway. Yeah, we've only got 4 people in the stream at the moment, I think, according to the concurrent viewers, so not a lot of people in at the moment, TMan. Might just grab a fresh piece of that 600 grit. Oh, that's what I never showed you. got more of the green malachite and Phantom Nebula. So we're ready with these. If there's been quite a few people interested in the green malachite. So I've got another half a dozen blanks ready in the green malachite, and I've got a half a dozen blanks in the Phantom Nebula, plus I've still got a heap of the other sort of standard colours that I've had for a long time, so I've still got plenty stock of blanks, guys. Phantom Nebula is quite nice. There's one end of a shiny one, you can see. Gets that sort of pinky colour and the bluey purple with a dark, sort of darker black through it. Anyway, just thought I'd pop that up. Yeah, that one, this one was a different one. This is the green malachite's a specific mix. Although it looks very similar there in the sides of the blanks, but they are different. This one's got a lot of the lighter colour through it, whereas this one doesn't have the lighter colour through it. So as you can see there, you can see the light colours coming through the green malachite, where this one is darker. This will have a lot of nice green in it, because that was the one we put that day glow green and all the different greens in it. But the green malachite, like I said, it's got the lighter colours through it to replicate the green malachite look. So yeah, two different blanks. Right, go back to this by hand now. No worries, Brett. You just let me know what you want when you want it, mate, and we'll sort you out there. That's no worries. Oh, that'll do it. Grab another piece. I ain't going climbing around the lathe to go and find it. So as you can see, by the time, there's a lot of work in these ones. They do take a lot longer to do than just a straight acrylic, and I mean, we've still got a lot to do to this one yet with regards to CA finish and setting the knot and all the rest, but we'll get an idea what it's going to look like once we finish with the wets and we turn it around to part it off. Although I will be putting the CA on the top section before we get too carried away with it, because it gets harder to do it once you take it off, especially this end. But this end needs to be done first to be able to turn it around in the chuck properly. But we're getting there. Right, I think we can just give that a little touch inside. Yeah, no, that's fine, mate. CA's fine, no problems with that. Right. We'll get the wets. I'll hit it with the old ones first, and then we might get the new ones out that I've got, because these ones are starting to get a little bit worse for wear. As you can see, there's not much of the pad left now on these ones. Not impressed with these ones at all, to be honest. I'm just going to give this a quick rub with these, and then I'll get the fresh ones out, and we'll go over it with and I'll get on the inside there as well with these old pads. Actually, I think I'm going to change over to the new pads now because these are pushing the limit. So just bear with me a tick. Where are they? There they are. Oh, oh. So, I mean, even at the packet they're stuck together, look, and these haven't even been used yet. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in that order. And then we've got the teal, the purple, the blue, and the pink. I might keep the old ones handy because the old ones I'll use on the inside of the socket. I can use them there because they're going to get wrecked, and these new ones will get wrecked if I use them in the inside of the socket. So we'll use the old ones for that, and we'll use these ones for the outside. So who we got left in the stream? Just Brett, TMan. Who else is in there? Grey Dog? Doesn't look like it. Might just be us guys, eh? Although it's showing 4. All good, all good. And we'll get that cleaned up with the old pads in a little while. TMan's on too. That explains it then. No problemo. So it's just us guys. Got the whole place to our cosy little selves. Not that we're going to be doing too much more today anyway. We'll try and get it as far as we can, but I'm not going to push on too far with it today. I'd rather take my time and do what I need to do with it. Just slowing it down a little bit there. You probably heard the lathe sound change. We're starting to get a little bit of clarity now in the resin. There is some holographic in this as well, if I remember rightly. I think we had some silver sparkly holographic stuff in here from memory. And obviously the colour changing chameleon pigment on the inside, on the burl, the natural face of the burl. Yeah, she's starting to clear up now, as you can see there. You can see the colour changing there. And then we'll clean up that socket as well in a little tick. We'll just get the outside finished with these first. And then I'll just give it a little bit of a touch up by hand. And I've got to go through the sanding process again, another once or twice when the CA finish goes on as well. So, because you never can get the CA finish perfectly flat, so you've got to put heaps of coats on it, and then you've got to sand it all back again to get it flat, and then you can go to the buffer then after that. But what I'm doing at this point in time is getting a nice finish on it, so that we are ready to put a CA finish over the top, because you don't want to seal any imperfections into the handle at this stage, because once you put the CA over, that's it. You can't get back to it, you know. So now's the time to make sure you get your nice finish. And then you know, we'll have to let it dry, and then we'll put the CA finish over the top. And like I said, that might be done either offline or maybe on Tuesday. All right, so I'm going to lay these out just to let them dry. And then we'll go into the inside there now. Yeah, there's a little sparkle in there. So we'll go into the inside of the socket now. And you can see the colour shifting pigment there now. And there's the barrel. Probably zoom you in a little bit for that. If I can find the, there we are, that one there. That'll do us. Yep. Right, just get in the inside of the socket now and clean that up as best we can. Do that. So see if I get that nice and clear in here, and then we'll paint that inside with the Chameleon. You can see how that colour changing's working there now with the light. So I think once I get this finished, I think we'll end the stream, and I'll do a bit offline, and then we'll come back to it on Tuesday night, I think, just to finish it off. because the next step will be do the CA finish on the top section, so I can then turn that around and part off the bottom and then do the recess for the coin, and then finish the bottom section and then CA the bottom and blend it back into the top section. So I think that'll be the best way to go. And obviously offline I can do the chameleon in the socket as well. There. Oh, this lets you see what it's going to look like, basically, because the finish you've got on it when it's wet, I mean, although this is going to dull again when we stop sanding, but the finish that you can see there now is basically what you're going to get once it's CA finished, you know. So the timber will be nice and shiny like that, the resin will be nice and clear like that. Obviously we'll have a little bit of pigment in through here, but basically what you're seeing there is how it's going to look when it's finished, really. So it's going to come up quite nice, I think. And you can really see that colour changing pigment working there. Like if I take it from there, you can see the gold and the sort of cyany colour, and then we get a bit of purple and blue in different areas, and you get the sparkle through it too, just not too over the top, just enough, just nice. I'll stick the knot in it in a tick once we're finished with this, just so you can see what it sort of looks like overall when it's shiny and not sitting in it. So you can see all the extra steps that you don't have in a normal brush, like a timber brush or an acrylic brush, a resin brush, because you don't have to worry about cleaning up the sockets and, you know, all the other stuff. But you do with these because everything's seen basically. So you know, you have to finish the whole thing. It's all right. That's just my house phone going in the background. So there you go. Get a and if I don't drop this knot, so once the chameleon's round there, you won't see the knot in there. You might see it slightly, but you won't see a lot of it. And yeah, all in all, that's going to look quite nice actually. And the shape doesn't look odd, being a little bit longer than what you would normally make a chubby. A chubby is normally like in the sort of middle type ones. They're only about 55mm high or so. Some are even less, I think. So they are a very, very short handle. So I think we've managed to retain that look, but just in the longer length. But that's going to be some bloody knot, I'll tell you. 30mm, and it's 32 out of the handle. So that's one hell of a knot. That's the little bands I put round them, just to, they're just like a little, it's not Velcro, but it's a similar material to Velcro. I use it for tying up a lot of cables around the place. You can just sling it round and tighten up the cables, but it's also handy for the knots because you can adjust it to whatever size you want, and it just keeps the knot all together and keeps it round. When they come out the boxes, so not that these rhodiums do, but a lot of the other knots that I have, like my 2 bands, which are a nice knot, but a lot of them come out of the box and they're square. And it's only because they've been in the box with the dividers, so you need to put a ring around them and leave them for a couple of days, and then they actually come back to being round again, believe it or not. So yeah, so I'm just going to lie these pads out now, just again so that these don't stick together. And I'll be right with you, and we'll probably end the stream there, and I'll do the rest of this offline later on. And like I said, we'll come back to it on Tuesday. I think would be the best bet. So that'll be us. Anyway, right, put that over there. I'll just check this one here, make sure that we're all good with this one now. So yeah, that one's all set. It's actually got some really nice colour in it, this one now. I don't know if you've seen the photographs that I put up. And there's the that's just still a little bit sticky, that with the epoxy, so I'll give that another wipe with a bit more methyl, and just take the residue off it. Sometimes that happens with the you get the worst of it off, but there's always that little bit sort of residue. But giving it a wipe now, we'll get rid of that. That's better. Yep, that's it. Put the lid on that before I spill it. So you can see that this is dulling down again now that the water's dried off. But once we buffen that, it will come up nice. But that's pretty much ready now for CA, although I will need to let it dry a bit more. But it's pretty much ready for CA on the outside now. I don't need to do too much on the inside because the resin with the pigment in here will finish that off and seal that tiny little bit. There's only a tiny little bit of burl inside, nothing to worry about. So that'll get sealed up with the resin anyway with the pigment, and then we'll CA finish this. Then we can turn that around, then we can see if, do what we've got to do at the bottom, finish the CA on the bottom, and then we've got a completed handle. We can set the coin, set the knot. Now, I'm thinking we'll probably put, I'm thinking it'll be an antique brass in the bottom of this one, because with a barrel, I think the brass will look better. Anyway, lads, since it's only us, we'll call an end to the stream. And thank you for hanging in there with me. And yeah, well, if you need any, if you do need any more rhodiums, mate, I've got another 30 mil, and I've got another 328 mil rhodiums there as well. So if you need rhodiums, I've got some in stock. So you just let me know what you want to do, whether you want to go to the expensive rhodiums or whether you want to just have more synths or 2 bands or whatever, mate. You just let me know. Just message me when you're ready, buddy, and we'll sort that out for you. But in the meantime, I'm going to call the stream, close the shed door down, and you guys take care of yourselves. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Have fun. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, because it's only just starting for us fellas. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we shall see you all on... Let me get back to the main screen, because I'm talking to a lathe. Yeah, so I'll see you all again on Tuesday night, and we'll finish. By then we should be able to just put the finishing touches to TMan's handle here, and we've done that one today, so that one's now out the way. We're just going to let that one cure. I might sit it in the sun for a while and let it properly cure. It's pretty finished now and ready to go. I'm happy enough with that now. Yeah, so look guys, like I said, thanks for sticking in there. You guys take care. We'll see you on Tuesday night. I'm going to shut the shed door down and get on with the weekend. You guys do too, and we'll catch you all later, right? We'll see you on Tuesday night. See you later, T-Man. See you, Brett. We'll catch you then. Cheers. Ta-ra for now.